Awesome. Right, Ben. There we go. Now, I thought I'd start the stream a little bit earlier here. This will end up being edited out of the actual release video, so it's fine. We can save things without being sent to the gulag. How are you guys doing? That's awesome to hear there, Darkman. Now, today's stream's going to be really quite good. I can promise you that one. And the scenario that we will be playing today is going to be awesome. I'm not going to spoil anything. I'm just going to let you guys find out. Okay. Let's see if we can find some music just to play here in the background while we wait. There we go. Today we will be showing the US forces, but yes, I think we'll probably be showing off the USSR in the following stream. It's not been quite decided yet, but we will be going through the factions, which will be fantastic. I'm very much looking forward to today's. The US armored forces, well, the US forces in general, are definitely the big counterweight to the Soviets. We do have a huge amount of equipment available here, and it is going to be mighty interesting. See, I'm very bad at names, so you're gonna have to remind me who William Hague is. Hello there, Grey Knight, how you doing, my friend? Hello there, Radster. Hello there, Solar. Hello there, Jaculus. Ah, right, okay. I didn't know if it would be somebody modern. I'm just gonna have to Google that now, aren't I? See, you know what? I actually know William Hague. I've never actually heard him speak in my life, so I actually do not know what it sounds like. So that'd be a rather interesting thing to look up later on. Indeed, the US forces are really quite impressive. And here we go, we have one of our developers here. Now these guys are superb. Absolutely fantastic when it comes to questions. I can assure you that one. Their knowledge of the actual, well, units depicted in game is actually astounding. Okay. Now, if you guys could do me a big favor, if you guys could share the stream around, that'd be great. I'm gonna do so myself here. Ignore those. Glad these things get edited out later on. So I'm used to using my other screen here, so a lot of the stuff that normally pops up as hidden is over here. Now that's a very good question. What type of US forces are you going to be playing as? Today, we're not going to do much details because I don't want to spoil things quite yet. You will be seeing very shortly what we'll be playing as exactly. But we will be seeing the appearance of the M1 Abrams, which is actually quite a effective platform. It's tough, but it's not quite the armored monster that we think of today. It's definitely capable, but it's not invulnerable. Only 1 more minute to go. Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome once more to Armored Brigade. Now, Armored Brigade is a superb RTS game. It's definitely something different to what's here on the market. There are very similar games out there, such as, well, let's just say there's similar games. We're not going to name names, but we'll say there's definitely similar genre of games out there. But there's not much and not many that do stray into the Cold War era. And the reason is, I don't know, whatever the reasoning is, there needs to be more Cold War games. But here we are, Armored Brigade. It's definitely something to be taking a look at. So what will we be doing today? We will be taking a look at a brand new scenario that we have available to us exclusively, which is Armored Cavalry Squadron versus the Tank Regiment of the USSR. Our forces consist of an Apache. I want you guys to realise here we only have the one Apache, so we do need to use this this monster very effectively. We also do have a tank company for a total of 18 M1A1 Abrams. Now, these platforms are very effective. They're not quite the armored monsters that we think of today, but they are definitely fierce platforms and very capable platforms. And they will be put to their absolute limits here in this scenario. We are definitely going to be heavily outnumbered. And that's actually, that's actually quite an understatement. We are most definitely outnumbered here. We have to stop the advance of a USSR. Well, a Soviet armored force, which is not going to be anyway easy. Now, we are taking place here. The battle is taking place in North Germany, at least in the photograph, so it should be rather intriguing. We do have a good selection of off-map artillery, so we have some SPGs. We also do have some mortars on-map, as well as the Bradleys. So this is going to be quite an interesting mix here. We do have some infantry in the form of mechanized. We do have some scouts, which is going to be quite nice. So, we'll get into this then nice and sharp, shall we? Now, first of all, we are going to spend some time to actually take a look at the actual map here. What I want to point out is the fact that this battle is actually taking place, at the moment it is nighttime. Now, as we go through the battle here, the time will change, obviously the sun will rise. And the advantage here that we have in the beginning will soon disappear. We do need to make the absolute most of this while we do have the opportunity presented to us. So if we take a look at our force disposition, we can see that we have a total of 18 M1A1 Abrams. They are spread out around the map here in groups of 4, which is quite effective. Notice the positions they occupy, and if we actually take a look at the map in an isometric view, we can see here this map, well, the actual territory here, is rather uneven. There are some very large hills here. There's actually some very large open plains as well. Almost like valleys, I suppose you could say. Yes, here we go. So as you can see here, if we actually really emphasize the height difference, we do get quite an effective picture of what we're looking at here. So our positions are more or less covering this open area here, beyond these hills. So this is where we make our stand. Now, granted, we are playing a scenario where we are on the defensive, but we do need to be quite maneuverable here. we do need to push our advantage while we do have it. Now the thing is, the Soviet forces here, they are very heavily disadvantaged this time of the night. Due to the fact that we do have thermal, we have night vision, which is going to be superb. Now if I can find our M1 Abrams over here. Okay, so we do have the benefit of thermal imaging, which is going to be very, very effective. Now, we also have the APFSDS rounds over here. Now, they're going to be really, really needed. Now, what I want to take a look at is actually the armor. Now, the armor is very good. 435mm at the front, 120 at the side, 100 at the rear, 20mm on the top of the actual hull here. The turret, 480 at the front, 240 at the side, 100 at the rear, 20mm at the top. So what we do have to bear in mind is, frontally we are fairly well protected, but artillery is definitely going to make a number of those. Same as basically any tanks and armoured vehicles. They're not very well armoured from above, as you can imagine. Now, we do occupy good positions. Our forces are already deployed here. We can't change their placements, but we can issue orders at the beginning of the battle. Well, before battle begins, I suppose you could say. Okay. So we can see here our objective is to hold these locations. So we have the towns over here, and we have our staging area, we have the observation point, of course the town to the north, and the town over here as well. We can see this actually does form a very nice valley, which is going to be very good to actually funnel the Soviet forces through. I mean, the forces we're playing against here, I'm not kidding when I say they outnumber us heavily. They bloody well do. We need to make the best use of our positions. We do have air support in the form of a single, well, a duo of Apaches, but we only have the one flight. We can keep them on mission for quite some time, but eventually, once they do leave, that is that. So we do need to be very careful when we do deploy our Apaches, as they're pretty much our ace in the hole, but they will not stick around forever. So what we're going to do then is we're going to take a look at line of sight over here. I want to figure out our best positions, and I want to figure out where we can occupy to actually achieve the maximum overwatch. Okay, so we'll start over here then to the north. We can see here that M1 Abrams do have some decent line of sight over here. I can see that they have line of sight to just over 2600, maybe close to 2800 meters. That'll do for the moment, but I would like to potentially redeploy them to better positions. We can see here if we do move a little bit further down the hill, we could push this, which would be quite nice. What we need to do is we need to actually, well, we'll designate the actual areas of most interest. If we go back to our isometric view, just emphasize the hills here. Where do we expect the main Soviet offensive to come from? It's actually a very good question. The AI is actually highly capable, so it's not the easiest question to answer either. Now, of course, they are going to be aiming for the objectives. If we take a look, we do have 4 objectives to the south here. We do have 2 objectives in the north. So I would hazard a guess that their main brunt of the offensive will probably come and reach into this area. Though, which way will they actually pass? Now, we do have the town over here. It would do us very well to actually deploy some infantry forces in there. We do have that capability. I do have some forces over here. Obviously, these are scout troops. Now, of course, scouts do not carry much in the way of armament. Of course, just the assault rifle and the hand grenades. But having infantry in there would be quite handy for us to actually spot. Now, this time, scouts such as this, the ones that are not equipped with actual night vision, they're not particularly useful. However, that will soon change once the actual time of day changes and the light begins to return to the battlefields of North Germany. So it wouldn't be a terrible idea. Though I do see these positions over here. At the moment I do have the contour lines on. We can actually see elevated positions quite nicely. Makes it a little bit easier. Okay. This battle is taking place in 1989. So the equipment that we do have is not too far away from the end of the Soviet Union. The Soviets are definitely playing with some more advanced toys that they did have. Very capable. I wouldn't be too surprised if we do see the presence of possibly T-80s. I'd imagine we'll be seeing a lot of T-64s, maybe T-70s. It very much depends. it wouldn't be a bad idea for us actually to move our scout teams up to this actual hill over here. At least then I could actually deploy my infantry. They could attempt to hide. What we'll do is obviously give them orders not to engage, just basically to hold their position, remain hidden. Okay. We do have scout forces over here as well. So what we need to do then is see. So right, if we occupy this position on the hill, we actually do get a good line of sight out of here. Okay. Again here as well. Personally, I don't expect to see many Soviet forces advancing through this gap here. I would imagine this will be the main brunt of the offensive. I think what we'll have to do then is we do have our 4 Abrams over here. I would definitely say we should. Let's take a look at this hill over here. I'm actually quite intrigued by this hill. Okay. Okay. I do love the line of sight tool. Definitely makes things rather intriguing. Right. What I'm considering here is if we potentially redeploy some of our Abrams. I do have 4 Abrams over here. What I'm thinking is potentially we redeploy 2 of these Abrams. Potentially even more. Considering we have 4 Abrams here, I reckon we could probably redeploy these Abrams here. It would work as a quite effective pincer here. What we have to bear in mind is we only have 4 Abrams here to absorb what might be the brunt of the offensive. What I'm trying to work in here is to have something of a fallback, something of a defense in depth. I think if we are pushed back beyond this position, we do have the capability to launch smoke from these M1 Abrams. I think if we are pushed back over here, obviously retreat into the forest, ideally try and hide away and then draw them into the fire of the Abrams that we could deploy over here. Okay. I think what we need to do then is identify a position for our Apache helicopters. Now we do have the advantage in the fact that they can actually move between positions. So it's not just one position is all we ever get. We can move them between positions even during battle, which is fantastic. Though I think what we need to decide really is when and how to deploy them, in what circumstances. I think I'll keep them in reserve. The reason being I'd rather have them in reserve for the absolute direst circumstances than to just throw them away willy-nilly. Now that's a decent position. We get to see all the way down to the valley, which is very handy. If we take a look at the actual heat map, well, the height map, sorry. Yes, you can definitely see the valley here. This territory, this terrain over here is quite low, same again over here as well. So we can clearly see 1, 2, 3. So we're only having to cover about 3 positions, 3 angles of attack, I suppose you could say. In that case, I mean, I could deploy over here on top of the actual hill with the helicopters. It wouldn't be too terrible given the fact that they'd have pretty good coverage. They'd have coverage all the way out to here as well. That's not a bad position. I'm most interested in making sure that we can sight down this valley. I think what we'll do is we'll have our initial position here. A second position we'll have to figure out. I do imagine we'll see another armoured push down by this area. It's very narrow, they do have the forest over here to actually cover their advance. I can imagine we'll be seeing armoured forces making their way down here. Okay. I don't want to deploy too far forward. The Soviets will be accompanied by self-propelled AA, and frankly I do not want to lose my most valuable assets. Okay. I'd say potentially this would be a decent position. A little bit further forward. Ideally I can cover this. Yeah, okay. That looks good to me. So what we're going to do is we're going to make use of the marking tool. So as you can see here, I have different options. I'm going to mark a exclamation point over there. And we'll put one here and we'll check that. Yeah, so that works for me. Okay, so we'll go to our air support here. So let's actually take a look at the Apache that we do have available. So this is carrying the Hellfires. Now they are definitely superb pieces of equipment. We do have some very nice availability of firepower now, which is going to be fantastic. Right. The standard line of sight tool shows the line of sight 2 meters above the ground, but of course helicopters do hover, so we will have improved line of sight, which will be fantastic. What we'll do then is we'll designate them here. So I'll have the helicopters to arrive from around about 18, sector 18. Fly them here, give them a target reference point of down the valley. And then our second deployment zone will be over here. What I'll do then, I mean, we can see here our ATGM Hellfire range. So the Hellfires do have some decent range. It will cover this area, which is going to be quite nice. What we want to do is we want to capture armored forces out in the open. So I'll probably have them given a target reference point of, I suppose, probably this way. There we go, terrific. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to lay down our target reference points. So I'll probably have one here, and then one further up over here. What I want to do then is, this is going to allow my artillery to strike in, well, to sight in a hell of a lot sooner. Possibly one here, though. I'm not too convinced, due to the fact that they could move quite quickly here. I really do want choke points more than anything. I'll have my target reference points down here to south and up here to the north. I think that should work out well enough for us. Okay, so the time is 7:06. The weather is good. Let the battle begin. Okay, so we can already see here, there is potential enemy forces over here. We do have potential sightings. Okay, so we can see that we do have our scout forces over here. I think what we'll do then is we'll try to immediately deploy them to make use of their vision. Now, the actual Bradleys will be doing most of the scouting here to begin with. So what we'll do is we'll have you move forward. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you explicit orders. Now, I could have done this at the start of the battle and it would have been immediately implemented. But what I want to show you guys is how command and control works. Of course, having headquarter units near units does allow these orders to be filtered through faster and acted upon faster. Okay, so what I'm going to do here, I'm going to take a look at the actual unit. So if we take a look at the line of sight, we can see here, quite effective. Now this, I believe, will be showing their vision, considering their night vision as well, which is going to be quite nice, their night vision and thermal equipment. Okay. Even here it's not too bad, actually. They could potentially even just maintain this position and they'd be able to cover this area quite nicely. I think what we'll do, though, is we'll give them explicit orders. Let's see here. So standard operating procedure. I'll give them... yes, use effective range versus hard targets, effective range for soft targets. Have them pathfind using cover. Okay. We can set their ranges as well. What I'll do is I'll set their range... it depends really on the targets we're facing. I don't want them to have their position revealed, however. They'll move forward over here. But I think what I'll do is, let's see. Right, so this is their range versus soft targets. Now, soft targets like infantry or vehicles isn't much of a concern. So I'll set that for about 1,500 meters, roundabout. Reason for that is I don't really expect anything to come within range of this hill, unless they're moving down into this valley. If they're moving down into the valley, then we'll worry then. Again, I'll have their hard range set to their similar sort of range. Okay. You can maintain your position here, I'll have you rotate, however. Again, we'll have your range about half. I do not want them to engage and give away their position. We'll have them unload their scout teams as well. I potentially have some of those move into the actual town over here, which could be quite effective. Will give us a decent position to work from. At least they'd also have some hard cover. Now we do have our scout teams deployed here. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to order them back into their vehicles. So both of them will head in here. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to advance them probably down to the hill over here. What I want is some effective line of sight over the valley here. Now we can see that there are potentially lots of Soviet forces here, so we do need to make sure we can keep ourselves hidden as well. Okay, I think deploy one team here. A second team here. Yes. I'd say around about here. And what we want is we want to have vision into the actual city here, the town itself. Okay. Now our Abrams do have some good line of sight. The only issue that concerns me is that most of the Abrams here don't have direct line of sight. I don't believe most of them will be able to engage the enemy targets, which does concern me. They could up to this position here. Now I could give the Abrams explicit orders only to engage upon this position here, only using effective fire as well. We don't want to waste ammunition. We do have access to further rounds, but I don't want to have them used willy-nilly. I'd rather the first shot be taken is the kill shot. Let's see. Okay, now this is looking pretty appealing. And we lose a sign... Well, we lose our line of sight here, directly in front of us. But we do gain some pretty good line of sight down the valley. So I think what we'll do is we'll actually redeploy some of these Abrams. So what I'm going to tell them to do is actually reverse back here to begin with. Same for this Abrams as well. They'll have them reverse like so. And then what I'd like them to do is actually move fast up to this position here, roughly. Move there with contact orders. So you can see these orders are going to take about 3 minutes, but that's absolutely fine. Okay. Then just about here. I'd like you to rotate your hull just a little. Okay, that should work out fine. Now I'm going to actually take some of these Abrams as well. We do have the headquarters over here. They are quite valuable. What is your line of sight like from here? Nothing to shout home about. Okay. What I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to find a position that does cover this to the north. That's not too bad, but it's a little bit far away. Okay, that works for me. Yes, that works fine. We can cover beyond the tree line here. Yes, okay. So what we're going to take advantage of then is being able to actually order these units to move independently. I will have a second Abrams follow-up just for the time being. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have a couple of my Abrams move out of position here. Give them orders then to rotate. See, these Bradleys will come in very handy. So I'll deploy my scout infantry over here. I'll then have them pull back, and we'll probably have them deployed on one of these hills. Actually, what I could potentially do is I could potentially have hide away within this forest, have given explicit orders not to fire, and then use them once we potentially have a flank on the enemy. What do you guys think of that? Try and make the most of them. I mean, they do have autocannons. Yeah, 25mm. We can see here then at 75mm we do have some very good penetration. Out at further ranges the penetration does drop. Okay. Actually no, that's fine. We're good at all ranges then, we just seem to have the same effectiveness. That's fine then, what we'll do is we'll make use of them. Their quick firing guns will actually be quite handy. I imagine we could probably stun a few crews like that as well. So they'll definitely have a use. We'll keep our headquarters deployed here for the time being. What I'm going to do is issue orders to all of my units here to fire within effective range for hard and soft units. Now we do have these Abrams deployed over here as well. I think what we'd like to do then... What do we have in terms of line of sight? It's not exactly fantastic in my opinion. We could potentially reinforce our position over here at observation point. I actually think that could be quite effective. Now we do have a few Abrams over here, but we need to make sure we cover this in strength. So I think potentially splitting up this force of Abrams, or potentially just redeploying them over here just to cover the town. I would like to have a reserve of Abrams though available. Okay, so what we're going to do then is... We'll have them available, but I think I'll have them deployed as a mobile reserve, should come to it. I do have 2 mortars over here, so what I'm going to do actually is I'm going to have them set up illumination. Right, we can see here that we don't have range. So what I'm going to do is actually split the unit up. So one of them will move down to support the Abrams to the south. I'll have them move up to the, let's see, the second town over here. The other mortar move over here to the north. The reason I'm doing this is illumination rounds are very, very handy. We also do have artillery. We do have a total of 8 guns, but what I'm going to do then is actually set up some illumination rounds. Right, there we go. Just the 1 gun. And I'd say, just, yes, that'd be fine. So illumination rounds, I'll have them to fire at my command. I'm going to actually designate their target along here, actually. I'm going to set up a second fire mission as well. Much the same. Yeah, fire at my command. That works fine for me. Notice when I'm outside of the target reference point, so that's about 4 minutes. Here it's only 1.5 minutes. We'll have that designated. I'm going to make use of the mortars more than anything in these northern areas. I will probably... Yeah, to be fair, I'll save my illumination rounds. Let's see, how many illumination rounds do we have? We do have a total of 24, but I'd like to have them available when needed. We have our target reference point set up over here. I think we'll probably have a couple flying down in this area. It depends on the range of the mortars, in all honesty. Now, I do have additional scout assets over here. Let's see, which will be a good position to take over here in the town. Now that does look superb. Okay, so what I'm going to do then is going to order my men back into the actual armoured vehicle. I'm also going to redeploy the AFV over here. Okay. What do we have here in terms of line of sight? That's effective. So what I'll do is I'll keep you in this position here. You, however, I will load back into the transport. And I'd like to move you somewhere else more than likely. I mean, this is it. Do we actually move in aggressively? I think we need to maneuver to get the best shot on actual choke points. But we don't want to push our luck here. At the end of the day, we are going to be extremely heavily outnumbered. And relatively outgunned. I do need to be quite smart. We'll have them load up and then we'll decide what we do from there. So, I think from this moment we'll be able to go forward then. Okay, you can see these orders being relayed. Okay, you can see the orders are going through here. So of course it has not yet reached these forward elements. So they're still acting as their standard operating procedure dictates. Now we do have line of sight on 2 vehicles here. We don't have a positive identification, but we can of course aim at it, so that's fine for me. I'm going to assume this is obviously a tank. Right, 8 AGM in, and we do have a solid hit there. It does not seem to have actually killed the target. Right, okay, we've claimed our first victim over here. It seems that we have wheeled transports, we have BRDMs. Good visa reconnaissance assets, so actually taking these out is actually quite important. What I'm going to do here is actually to... I do have 2 smoke, but to minimise the potential of being discovered, I'm going to pop smoke now. Now with my thermal imaging, I can actually shoot through that smoke. Of course, the Soviets will have a harder time to actually hit me. They'll have an even harder time to spot me. This is probably not needed, but what I'd like to do is make sure that once these orders do go through, they arrive to still living and kicking unit. I'd rather not lose them at the start of the battle. There we go, so smoke is deployed. Of course, we can still fire through this. This is the advantage of having thermal. Yes, okay. Tracked vehicle. Right. Now we do know there are enemy vehicles here, so what I'm going to do then is actually set up a proper fire mission. And this is one that is going to be bringing some pain, then I'd like to say. So I'm going to go with the dual, well, basically these munitions. Devastating to armored vehicles, I suppose you could say. So I'll call that the DPICM Mission 1. Okay. Set up munitions, obviously I could change this, but I'm going to just increase the amount of guns. I'm going to increase the amount of volleys to 8 volleys. So 24 rounds in total, we do have 240 to begin with. Now, 4 minutes obviously to designate this. Okay. I think that's fine. We do have it set up to fire at my command, so that's fine. If there's no enemies within the actual target area, we could of course cancel that and save our munition. But so far so good, we've actually claimed 2 targets. It's good for me. Okay, I think what I may do is actually deploy another AFV up over here. Another Bradley, another M3A1 CFV. To give them an official turn. Okay, then move up over here. Okay, our Abrams will soon be redeployed. We claimed another target over here. So what did we hit? We can assume it's a tracked vehicle. Now, this vehicle over here looks as though it did pop smoke. We don't know if we actually claimed it as a victim. Right, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to unload my passengers. Right, we have our illumination rounds ready to fire. We can see that there are units potentially moving down here. So I think what I'll do is I'll fire off the second illumination round first. I'm going to actually set up another fire mission here. So illumination... South 3. Okay, there we go, we have our new mission. I'm going to fire another illumination round. Of course, only the one, I don't need multiple. And I'll place that about here. We'll give it another minute and a half, and then we'll be able to deploy that round. Now, interestingly, you are deploying smoke. Okay. I mean, these are some superb positions. Now, do keep an eye on this over here. We're only 2 minutes in, but we're not going to have the advantage of night for long. We can see that there are tracked vehicles here. Are my mortars in position? You're not quite in position. But let's see, if I was to give you a order to illuminate, you don't have that range, unfortunately. Okay, we can actually see illumination rounds coming in from the Soviet forces over here. That's rather impressive, actually. Okay, so what I'm going to do then is I'm going to deploy you over here. So I'll get my scouts into this building. Have them unload. Now what does concern me is that they're aware of my units over here. Either that or the Soviet commander has a very good hunch. Okay, so we have our fire mission ready here. We'll fire off a round, so fire round. We'll fire at the second position too, so firing round. Okay. Right, so our vehicle was taken out here. You can see why I wanted to keep them hidden. What I'm going to do is actually have you reverse here. Unfortunately, we did lose the scout team as well. What I'll do then is I'll advance you down here. Yeah, that was actually quite the loss there. Okay. Now, I did give you orders that once you did come into contact with an enemy, that you could stop and obviously take aim. I'm not regretting them right now. The reason why I'm doing this is I'm quite comfortable that we can't be spotted by the Soviet forces over here as of yet. Okay, so we have our illumination rounds down on target. I'm going to deploy one down here as well. Okay, commence firing. If you see the flash, is it not too late? Oh, right, okay, so we can actually see that our Soviet forces moving down over here. That is rather dangerous. What I'm going to do is actually have these guys rotate. If I check their line of sight, they don't have range over here. They can't see what's going on. We do see an enemy over here. This has been spotted by one of our... well, these are rather interesting platforms. If we take a look over here, you are equipped with tow ATGMs. What I'm going to do is actually move up one of my Abrams. Okay, I'd like you to redeploy into that position as fast as possible. I do have an additional scouting force over here, so what I'm going to do is actually have them move into the town. And then we'll have them deploy their scout teams. Okay. Yep, they've sighted the enemy. Opening it up with autocannon. Okay, unfortunately a miss there. Another ATGM out. Now notice we have another ATGM out here. They're actually lighting up the Soviet forces on the road here. Ooh. That was a lucky, lucky survive. Right. Okay, so our illumination rounds have so far spotted nothing. We do have the ability to call in our artillery strike over here. Now, I'm not actually seeing anything here at the moment. Okay. Now, there's another vehicle. What I'm going to do then is actually have this, deploy about here. Have you rotated that way? Right. Enemy taken out. Okay, so we can see forces moving on the hill here. Just going to quickly check their line of sight. Okay, so we need to move them. Okay. Your position isn't great, so what we'll do then is we'll find the... Right, okay. So I want you to actually move forward. So what I'll do is I'll just mark these positions here. There we go. There we go. I do have my scout section here as well. We are going to move forward with them. See the difference in the time it takes for these orders to be carried out. Let's see. Let's see what we can see from here, sorry. I get terribly tongue-tied when I'm nervous. But you know what? That's what good games do to me. Now we can see here that one of our Abrams did actually take out the reconnaissance vehicle. Okay. It will occupy this position in the trees. You advance here. Have you advance here as well? There we go. Right. Now, the Soviets have been rather bold here. They're moving down this road, which is lit up. I'm just going to cancel your order here. I'm going to have you move here. What do you see from your position? You see this plane over here. Right. What does my scout team see? That would be a question. They're not seeing very much at the moment. Do they have... no, I don't think they'll be able to see much at all. Not until the day. What I could do is I could potentially deploy in this position here, so I'll do that as well. I do need that line of sight. I do have a fire mission set up here, but I don't know whether it's actually of any use. However, our mortars have just arrived, just in time. Okay, so what I'm going to do, as you can see here, we've been illuminated over here. I'm going to set up another... Ooh, okay, we are taking fire here. Right, pop smoke. Right, pop smoke, reverse up here. We can see that we do need to have this area illuminated. The fire was coming down from this area, so what I'll do is I'll actually have them rotate. Okay, that thing's about to be lit up. ATGM's out. Ah, okay, that's a shame. We did lose those munitions. Our reinforcements are moving into the town. Fantastic. Okay. So for the moment, it's relatively quiet. However, we can actually see that the enemy forces have moved into the town here. I was actually... this is actually quite surprising. I didn't expect them to move so quickly. So what we'll do is we'll fire our illumination rounds here. I did honestly expect my forces to sight something down this road. That does actually concern me somewhat. Resume the game. Ah. Okay, just hold your position. Right. There we go, we've spotted our target. I can see our infantry flying vehicle has actually spotted that as well. Fantastic. Okay, what I want you to do is actually move up over here. There we go, we can see our illumination rounds. Right, there we go. And then I want you to deploy into the actual forest. This does concern me. Oh, good. Very good. And we actually do achieve a kill there. Indeed. Nice shooting tags. Right, we can see a few vehicles over here that are actually stationary for the moment. What I'm going to do is actually change your target over here. What's good is this is only going to take us a minute and a half to change, which is fantastic. I may increase the amount of volleys, actually. We'll put down 36 rounds in this area. At the end of the day, that would be worthwhile to take out a couple of vehicles. We're aware of 3, but there may be more. Right, that's not good. Okay, we're not going to risk it anymore. We can see that this position is clearly being observed by the Soviet forces. It may be due to the muzzle fires, or the muzzle flashes that are giving us away. That's a good point there. Ooh. Don't know if we achieved a hit, but we definitely forced them to smoke out. Okay, we are going to unload our passengers over here. You can be unloaded here. Okay, now that is a dangerous threat. Now this is why I've deployed my forces in these positions here. What I'm trying to make use of is the actual urban infrastructure, the actual buildings to achieve ambushes. Okay, I'm actually going to halt them here. I'll have you unload. Give you orders, load, and unload. Right, our force has been illuminated over here. What I'm actually going to do is reverse into the tree line. Okay, good, our position's working. They can actually see the enemy. Now these are only infantry, so it's not particularly worth their time. What I'll do is actually call in a fire mission from my mortar, which is actually over here. Right, so I'm going to queue up a fire order from some high explosives. Okay. Let's see. I'm going to actually change your targeting. I'm going to have you fire a round off first, so make use of those illumination rounds. Okay, just make sure another round's fired. Right, there we go. Now what we will do is actually illuminate this area. Ah, that's actually not good. I did not want to lose that vehicle. Okay, mounted. Move into the building. Load your team. Okay, just reverse into the trees here. Fire when ready. Okay, we are actually doing well enough over here. That's good, another target taken out. So far, we're not doing very well, I've got to be honest. We are losing forces, and I'm not too particularly pleased with that. Right, we do appear to be detecting something over here. Let's see, what is our line of sight like? So I'm not pleased by these circumstances. It might even be potentially infantry. At least if it's infantry, it's not going to be too particularly deadly. It's not like a it's definitely not like an armored vehicle. It might be the best idea for us to actually keep these forces behind the buildings for the moment. At least in that way we can pop out. Right, we are ready to fire. We're going to put a round down range. Then I'll put down a... yeah, there we go, one round. Then we'll change it over here too. Okay, yes, we are lighting up this road quite nicely. Okay, so what we are going to do then is, let's see. My mortar is adjusting over here, but I think what I'll do instead is actually adjust over to this area. See, mortars come in very, very handy. Okay. We're firing for effect down here. You can see quite a lot of rounds already downrange. As long as we have an Apache, we're fine. Oh boy, that's a lot of forces there. Okay. Right. We do have additional artillery support, so I'm going to use the last remaining guns here. That's a lot of volleys. We'll put down 8. About this position. Sadly, it's going to take us about 5 minutes, though. That's the issue. We can readjust it should the targets leave the actual area. Right, we are seeing something here in the center. Rotate. Wow! Okay. That's not good. So it seems like we lost our Abrams. Okay, now I'm getting quite worried. See, the issue is the enemy is aware of our positions. We may have to redeploy. Right, we are going to lay down a few more illumination rounds here. So fire. 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 Yeah, it seems like our vehicle here, it probably was shot from this position. Which I'm not too surprised about, actually. Right, we are taking fire over here as well. This position's definitely compromised. No wonder we've been lit up like a Christmas tree. So what we're going to do is we're going to pop smoke. There we go, pop smoke. Okay. While we do have that going for us, we are going to redeploy. Right, we'll redeploy. We'll figure out the best positions for our units then afterwards. Right, fire for effect. I mean, this vehicle is definitely risking its life. Right. Yes, okay. We do have air support, but I'm not going to use it yet. If you guys think we're dealing with a lot of forces now, you have no idea what we're in for here. We are very, very much outnumbered. Right, there's a lot moving down over here, and they are definitely bearing down on us. We do have our vehicles here. What is their line of sight like? It's good enough to actually cover this area. I think if we have them dedicated towards that position, I think what I'll do here is have you round the corner and then come out to peekaboo. I'll have you move forward just a tad. I need to make sure I have some line of sight. I think the issue is we're suffering here. Is that I'm lacking actual eyes on target. Okay, looks like the actual tanks here have no idea where I am. It's a shame that we're out of ATGMs, but at least the AFV is actually lighting them up. Indeed, an entire... Oh, wow! Okay, well... That was nice. It looks as though the actual turret was turned and we actually did... No, the vehicle's actually turned the wrong way around. Lovely! Wow. Okay, I mean, this one vehicle's actually locking down that position very, very well. Right, we are going to move our forces here very quickly. So I need you to actually just move up to this position here. I think we'll have you move up to this position somewhere along here as well. So just move fast. I want you to get moving. We do have the additional AFV. I think what I'm going to do is actually have them move through the trees over to that position here. This vehicle will be moved to about here. I want them to really sort of lock down this view over here. I do have my mortar. Now we can actually see enemies down here. We didn't take the shot over here due to the fact that we did lose sight of those forces. I think what we'll do is we'll actually align this. I'm actually going to have it down here. Okay. Right, target spotted. Right, target down. You're ready to fire. Round out. We may have a very good chance to actually take out multiple T-80s here. Okay. Oh, don't move yet. Haha, that's a shame. If it actually put down a target reference point here, we could have actually been raining hell down on these Soviet forces. Right, we're very much aware of what's coming towards us though, and what scares me... Right, I do have Abrams here to cover this. Can actually see their line of sight. They can actually hit them if they move out here. Ideally, I'd like to hit them as they emerge from the town. I don't have a real good position to cover that. Then again, let's see. Okay. They look as though they're going to emerge from over here. We'll hope for the best. Right, we can clearly see the enemy down here. How are we going for the line of sight? Right, move forward. I think our position is bad here. Oh. Oh boy. Oh boy. They're moving through the trees. That's not good. Okay, you're not pointing the right way. Right, we need some illumination down here. ASAP. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, this is not good. We need to move now. Look at your orders. Get the hell out of Dodge. Right, we need to move from this position ASAP. The Soviets are nowhere here. They are going to rain down hell on us. Jesus, look at all these T-80s. We're not killing them, but we might be able to actually deal some good damage to them. Please don't die. Light damage so far. Is the bombardment over? Okay, the bombardment is over, but we need to redeploy now. We need to get the heck out of there. Okay, advance this position over here. Right, I can't deal with whatever that is. I cannot simply face it. Okay, lay down some more illumination rounds. Fire. Fire. And fire. Oh wow, we actually do take down another T-80 over here. Fantastic. And we do have one in the actual target zone. What I'm going to do is, can I redeploy this? It can't be done yet. Okay, the Reds know we're here, so we are going to have to move. Pop smoke and get the hell out of Dodge. We'll move over into the tree line, but just move out of here. Right, we are ready to fire. Okay, light them up. Right, another bombardment incoming. We've actually lost an Abrams. Jesus, we are losing too many Abrams here. This is not working out well. See, the AI is very effective, brutally effective in some cases. Yes, we do need to retreat here. Okay, we'll pop smoke just to actually hide us from what might be sighting us in here. We do have artillery on the map, we also do have off-map artillery. I'd imagine the Red Army will have much the same. Okay, what we are going to do then is actually have them just cancel that order, just reverse of the road here. I mean, to be honest, it's actually a good position. They're doing effective work. I mean, this one vehicle has removed 3 T-80s here. Okay. Certainly not going to be complaining about that. Right, we can see forces moving down the road here. It's not going to be long until they make a big push. We do still have 3 Abrams in position here. You can see why I wanted to have forces deployed here. If I take a look, they do have line of sight over here, so that's good news. Round out. Right, they're moving through the center here as well. Okay. We'll put down another round here just to illuminate this area. Right, we did destroy another vehicle. Fantastic. Round out. Redeploy illumination here. This does not fill me confidence. You need to move. You are hidden by the smoke, but I don't know if this T-80 might get lucky. Right, we are seeing vehicles moving here. Okay, will not be long now until we actually deploy our artillery. Okay, round out. Okay. Illumination round, illumination round, illumination round. Now this vehicle may be immobilized. It's a shame that we can't rearm these ATGMs. I may need to just move out from this position entirely, considering the fact that there are T-80s here very close by. Do we have the ability to actually kill this T-80? We are getting hits, but are they actually effective? That's the question. Right, who's going to win here? Oh, wow. ATGM, 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 please. Right, pop a smoke here. We might survive. Smoke, ATGM, please. Right, we've lost the scout team. Okay, that's not good news. Right, reverse out of here. Right, doesn't know we're here. Thank God for that. Right, they're building up their numbers now. This artillery does need to be ready. Okay, we do have line of sight here. Right, we'll wait until they arrive. Yeah, they're moving up over here as well. Okay, wow, we actually destroyed an enemy vehicle here. Okay. They're actually pushing between here. I didn't actually expect them to do that. Okay, this is ready to fire. We will drop the rounds here just on the off chance we actually do destroy this T-80. I do need to pull back from this position, however. Right, then we'll use our... I'm not going to deploy the Apaches yet. I'm only going to deploy them in dire circumstances. And you can see additional smoke being deployed over here, so the enemy is definitely making a move here. Right, have the scouting forces moving here. I could do with actually moving some infantry up to this position here to occupy this house. Okay, what are we looking at in terms of line of sight from here? Right, very, very poor. The enemy could be bearing down on us and we'd have absolutely no idea. So push up to your former positions for the time being, as they're frankly the most effective. We'll then later redeploy you. I'm going to have you advance a little bit further, but not too far. You over here, you can advance up to this position as well. Then I'll have you rotate, have you rotate, have you rotate. We do have smoke available should things get hot. Okay, dawn has arrived, and this is where we start to feel the pain. Okay, you need to get the hell out of there. I don't think we're going to do very well in this scenario here. We've not been able to inflict very many losses upon the actual Red Army forces, which is not very good at all. Yeah, so Red Dawn is rising. Okay. That's not good. That's not good at all. Oh, you actually do take out a vehicle here. Fantastic. I'm not gonna lie, you're doing effective work. I'm not rating our chances here too highly. It does depend on what's gonna happen. At least it's a benefit of we no longer need these fire missions, so I can cancel them and have them ready to drop bombs upon the enemy. Yeah, our scout team got absolutely annihilated. These guys need to pull back, otherwise they're doomed. You do have ATGMs. I suppose the range is too short to actually make effective use. I'm actually too scared to have this unit move out of here. That sounds like a helicopter. Okay. Well, at least now we can start using HE. So just for frag. I'll drop some frags down here as well. Actually, I could drop frag on this position here. Yeah, you can drop, definitely drop some HE rounds down. Good, good, good. Okay, so if we take a look at our actual scout teams now, you can see their line of sight actually does increase now, which is quite nice. You really don't see very much here, though. The thing is, we're no longer hidden. You need to move. You need to move. Please move. Okay, at least we do have some terrific crossfire here. They're already in the cemetery. Well, they know where to go for the good time, right? Okay. Right, these are road vehicles, wheeled vehicles, so they're not going to be too much of a challenge, thankfully. Banshee there. Have you just move up here as well? We can make use of our actual vehicles to the north. Yeah, there's plenty of them moving down. We should be able to take them out, no issues. ATGM's being launched. Fire for effect. At least we do have a couple T-80s in here, so that's not too bad. Ah, an actual BMP T-80. Okay. The opposition is going to be really worrying. Okay, so we do have some mortars ready to fire. We are going to fire them because at the end of the day, this vehicle, he might be trying to get out of there, but he's definitely not making any fast movements, is he? Right, I'm going to fire off that artillery. Right, fire, and then we'll redeploy it. Right, firing. Also, the T-80s are actually moving out. Right, artillery's landed downrange. Ideally, ideally a couple rounds land here quickly. Please. Oh no, they're going to be out of range. Oh well, we still have a chance to take them out with the actual cannon. Right, mortar. Rounds down range. Yes, helicopter spotted. Oh, that's not good. You don't have smoke. Can you take the helicopter out? Might have a chance, but you might end up being destroyed. Doesn't look as though the helicopter can actually spot you. Right, we are reaping a good tally over here to the north now. The issues we've lost a couple of Abrams, and I'm not happy about that. Right, make sure you're hidden, so reverse. What can you see from your position here? Not very much. If I was to move you into this building, you could see more. We'll have them run across the street, take up positions here in the building. That would most definitely be a good idea. Oh wow, look at that. Yeah, that's 4 Abrams opening up on what I assume to be a T-80. Good luck to you, my friend. And you're being targeted from the north and south. ATGM out. ATGM out. So can you imagine being in that position where you're being targeted from the side, the front, and the rear? Yeah, you're dead. Oh, you actually got out of dodge. That's good news. Right, you've been spotted. Don't know why you're using illumination rounds at this time. It's dawn. Don't think you really need it. Yes, we destroyed these vehicles here. Right. enemy here, and it is a BMP, so we can actually take, well, take care of that quite comfortably. Okay, dealing with the enemy out here. T-64s. You deploy the Abrams, yeah, good idea. We'll have them retreat into the woods over here. Yep, that's a good point there. If I use reattach, obviously it gives the order to the formation. The reason I'm not is I like to deploy these units individually at this moment. Try and make the most use of them tactically. Well, cover. Make the most use of the cover. Right, I do feel like the time to actually use their support is approaching. We'll deploy them in this position here. Now, they should have really good line of sight, and they should be able to actually light up quite a few targets. We do have a target spotted over here. I'm going to assume it's another T-80. Maybe a T-64. We've seen some of those deployed, actually. Right. Rounds are still landing. Gunships are on the way. Cancel that mission. Use what guns we have available here. Okay. Right, I'm actually going to deploy some high explosive rounds. I'm going to assume they're in the town here. Right, we are taking the enemy out here. That's not looking good. Let's see. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to set up a fire mission. This is actually going to ideally set the town alight over its position. It's a bit mixed. I mean, we're heavily outnumbered, so the fact is that we've lost troops. Oh, that's not a good place to be, is it? We've lost we've lost a few Abrams. We've lost some armored fighter vehicles, so I suppose the Soviets are winning. At the end of the day, they've lost a lot of vehicles, but yeah, their vehicles are worth significantly less than mine. Okay, yes. Why are we not seeing additional fire here? Are you serious? Do you not spot this? You really don't? Wow. That's incredible. Okay. Move up until you actually move into contact. Move up until you move into contact. We need to save our vehicles over here to the north. Right, our scout team is taking fire, unsurprisingly. It is distracting the enemy. Now you're coming under fire from multiple targets. Or multiple units, thankfully. Ooh, that's not good. Okay, pop smoke, if you can. Right, target is down, thankfully. Right, we did lose our scout team, however. Gunships will not be far away now. Right, you're taking fire, you need to get the hell out of Dodge. Right, helicopter spotted once more. Okay, I want you to drop some... Actually, to be fair... That's not good. What I'd actually like you to do then is if I could have you ready to deploy some smoke rounds over here. The reason is obviously I can fire through the smoke, which is thankfully quite good. I'm going to actually pull you back. I don't feel good knowing that the Soviets know I'm there. Right, our gunships are inbound. Right, I have smoke rounds ready to drop over here. Can we see the order of battle? Sure. There we go, can actually see them using this. Wheeled vehicles. Ah, right. Yes, okay, that's a shame. You did do some very fine work, however. As we have about, we have a few more minutes remaining here. The stream, which is going to be good. Just around about 15 minutes, which is fantastic. Oh dear. That's not good. The Mi-24 is repositioning. What range do my manpads have? They may be able to get a shot off here. Yes, we do, thankfully. Right, good. We might be able to actually take down a enemy gunship. Okay, the Abrams are opening up to the south here. It's a good thing that my gunships are inbound. Beautiful. So this is great. We're actually going to be able to catch them in a crossfire. Right, your line of sight's actually not bad from this position. Right, just have them rotate here, just make sure they can see. Gunships inbound. Just in time, actually. Okay, what I'm going to do is actually deploy my artillery, seems they're actually here. Fire. Fire. Bring the rain. Right, reverse. Actually, you did take care of 2 vehicles over here. Well done. Well done. Infantry out in the open. Vehicle out in the open. Okay, gunships are in position. Indeed, boom boom. There we go. Lighten them up now. So the gunships can see what we can't. So this is fantastic. What's really encouraging is the fact that they're actually firing into this area here and down here. So this is good. We'll have artillery landed in this area now. We might be able to deal quite heavy blows to the enemy. Oh boy. Yes, there's definitely something here that the gunships are firing upon. Right, they're actually taking fire. Ooh, okay, we have targets out here. And that kills it, good. Yeah, I think the gunships have just arrived at the right time. Oh dear. Suskin vehicles here. Relatively soft, I should say. The enemy troops have been routed over here. Yes, these gunships are definitely engaging. We are being engaged, however, as well. Okay. Right, looks like you're pulling back. Yes, you're getting out of dodge. Their fires actually damaged one of our helicopters, so it's driven one of our gunships back. Right, this isn't good. Yep, here comes the rounds. See, I'd love to get these vehicles out of this position now, but the thing is, yeah, they're really kind of trapped almost. Okay. Ooh, they're trying to flank us, aren't they? Right, the enemy's moving down here. What I'm going to do then is we'll have our forces. I'm actually going to have them reattach. So, reattach. Okay. Just move to this position here. What I'd like you to do is actually redeploy to. So, have you... Well, actually... Have you reversed to this position? Right, we did lose another vehicle here, sadly. Yes, indeed, the Apache was far too close here. They did do some good work. I think there's a hell of a lot of units over here that we've just not been able to spot. Yes. The Soviets can definitely fire upon us. Okay, back to vehicle. Right, fire mission completed. Here comes the high explosive rounds. I don't really want to be engaging you. Okay, the enemy's definitely making a good push over here. Maybe if we take a look at this then. The enemy did try to push down the center. They're pushing me hard over here. They've actually had a lot of success. It seems we're actually taking potential fire over here. This has been a difficult position as well. You can see just by the losses. They definitely have the numbers to spread out, which does make my life very hard. Okay, there's something right behind you. I'd love to get this vehicle out of here, but I think they're doomed. If they move out, they're probably going to be destroyed. Let's see, I could move... Right, you're actually spotting these units here. Okay. Have you move up in that position there. Right, another T-80. Yeah, these things are quite tough. From the front, they're very hard to take down. Oh, wow. Yeah, you're not going to make it, are you? Do you have a smoke? Okay, can you reverse out of here? Try and save your life, but yeah, you're dead. Okay. Yes, as I feared, the enemy's all here. And it's a shame, I really could have done with having my Apaches. I think we deployed them probably too close. They might have actually been better off still during the dark. Okay, so we've lost a lot more vehicles than I would have wanted to. I'm not going to pretend about that. Right, so go and take them. Okay, so the enemy has taken the town. What can we see from this position? Right, okay. The thing is, once the enemy does leave the town, I can light them up. I can definitely light them up. I'm not happy that they were able to move unmolested here. So this is, yeah, down to these guys not going to see very much. What I'm going to do is actually just advance over here. I do have these Abrams in reserve, to be fair. Yes, that's very true. I deployed them far too late. I wanted to deploy them when they were really needed, to be fair, due to their firepower. Okay, so what we're going to do is pop smoke. We are under fire here, so pop smoke. We actually do need to move before they bring down artillery as well, to be fair. We are we are lighting up multiple enemies here. Yes, pop smoke just in case. Right, no damage received, but you need to move. Okay, yep, we're doing well from here too. No line of sight on these forces. Oh, you are the one spotting them. Okay. What I'm going to do is actually have you just move into this house over here, see if you can get some line of sight going. However, ladies and gentlemen, we are getting very close to the end of the stream. Only an hour and a half today. I know you guys will be sad. Okay, I need to deploy one of my fire missions. I think I'm going to bring one of my fire missions down to this area, considering the fact we know the enemy is here. Okay. It's difficult because I have no information, so I don't know where to actually deploy these rounds. I'm going to assume over here from the last scene location. Right, the enemy's making a big push here. Okay, what we're going to do then is actually advance until we can actually... I need a position. I'd be better off moving to this position, actually. Right, cancel those orders. Perhaps I'll move the headquarters down this way. Right, we are killing quite a few vehicles here. We did lose our Abrams though, so that's a shame. We've only just lost that, however. We have taken some very heavy losses. These are losses that I really couldn't excuse. Definitely. Right, the enemy's launching artillery. We need to move now. I don't know where it's going to be launched at, but I imagine here. Even potentially here, to be fair. It's reverse. We need to get the hell out of Dodge. Okay, our mortars. I'm going to put down some smoke here. Oh, right, yep. We've lost an Abrams. Remember when I talked about the fact that these guys have relatively thin armor on the top? Yes. We survive. We survive. No. No dice. Okay. I'm not happy with the amount of losses here. I can still fight, but we are losing a lot of Abrams. I think what we will have to do is actually send some reserves. I'll take 2 Abrams over here. They can be moved fast. I'll have them move up to this position here. Okay, our mortar is ready to fire. I'm actually going to put some rounds down range here. The thing is I can actually see through the smoke, and ideally the smoke will... Of course it's going to obscure their unit, but once we do move... once they do move through the smoke, sorry, we will have good line of sight on them. Ideally they've been in a position in the open as well. Yes, we can take control of individual units, which is very nice. Right, we're under fire, we need to launch smoke, pop smoke. Why would you do this? Do not do that. Reserve down. Reverse. Reverse, reverse, reverse. Okay. Right, so what happened there was the actual vehicles attempted to make its way down the road. The issue was it exposed its actual rear to the enemy, which is not a good idea. That commander made quite a poor mistake. Then again, they were in a position where they didn't have much room to move. I think had we had more effective line of sight down this road, we would have been doing a hell of a lot better by now. I think this is my fault as a commander making poor decisions. I think we were trying to move here, and we didn't have effective line of sight. Potentially we should have deployed the Apaches earlier. Made use of their thermal imaging. But the AI is not daft, it knows how to punish you. Okay, fire mission ready, let's fire. Right, we are going to fire here as well. Can't see anything as of yet. Oh no, we do have some line of sight. Oh boy. Okay, pop smoke. Pop smoke, pop smoke, pop smoke. Right. Get the hell out. You might. Yeah. This was rather embarrassing. Okay, they've definitely got us sized in over here. This is not good. It seems like the southern flank is being pounded. Yeah, take a look at this. We lost an MBT, and then we lost one right after. The issue is we don't have good line of sight over here. Just fire for effect for the moment. I could try to move my vehicles up here, but I'm very much worried that they may be... Okay, we have line sight over this area. I may even have to move additional Abrams to the south. Right, rounds down range. I really do think our failing here, well, my failing was allowing them to move down here unmolested into the town almost. Our position was bad here, I should have paid more attention and made sure we could have shot them coming down the road. Though we did actually make quite a wise decision to move over here through the actual trees. Oh no, but we are taking too many losses. Considering the fact that we are vastly outnumbered, we are taking far, far too many losses. Right, artillery inbound. I don't know where this artillery is going to be landing either, to be fair. If they hit us here, we're pretty buggered. This is not good. However, we only have 1 more minute remaining of the stream, unfortunately. Just in time to see our arses. Yeah. The last few seconds here of the stream. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. Yes, okay. They're striking at positions they already destroyed. So, lessons for today. Make sure you have good line of sight. Make sure you have a fallback position. And if possible, make sure you make the best use of your thermal imaging. And unfortunately, Von Moltke, you did indeed. So until next time, guys, thank you so very much for watching. This has been Armored Brigade. It will be available in the future, and I hope you look forward to next week, where we should be showcasing a new faction. Possibly the Soviets, possibly another nation. We'll have to see until then. Thank you, and goodbye, guys. Don't make the mistakes I made. Try to improve, and let me know what your results are. Please do comment down below, and give us your thoughts. Until next time, goodbye for now.